Okay. Let's tidy up. I like tidying up. I always end up getting re-inspired by projects that I have going on when I'm able to find different pieces, see where I've left off. So to recap, yesterday I ended up in a creative blitz and started continuing some projects that I previously worked on. I need pants. This is what my pants look like today. I took them apart. So why did I take this apart? It was the worst fit. Not only that, the material. I don't know what kind of material this is. I imagine it's some form of denim, but it's not very comfortable. And I thought over time, with washing and drying and wearing, it would soften up and become better. And it's just, I can't get to that point. I've tried adjusting it in different areas, and then I just gave up. And then I realized this is the worst construction ever. It's just two long panels and they just literally sewed it on the side and there's no shape to it. It's just wide and unflattering. It's flattering from certain angles, but it's hard to maintain that angle. So I am trying to turn it into something else. These are my favorite joggers that I got from Zara a few years ago. I think I bought these in Mexico. But I'm pretty sure Zara is the same. Well, I don't think it is the same in every single country, but I'm pretty sure they did have this style here in America. Anyway, I took it apart. It was falling apart anyway. Very worn and tattered and had different stains on here. I think I even spilled fabric softeners, or maybe that's paint. I don't know. So I took it apart and traced the pattern. So that's what we have here. I need to add more seam allowance and make some more adjustments to this outline here, but we're getting somewhere. So after doing all of this, I was able to see exactly how much fabric I have in here to remake this pair of pants, and I don't exactly have enough. So I thought of a solution, but I don't think it's going to work. What's interesting about the joggers is that we have the front leg panel, the back leg panel, and then in the middle, right here, there is an inner panel. I like what it does. It creates a little extra bit of shaping. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. I want to try it again with this material to remake these pants. But what I'm finding is I might not have enough fabric here to create all of the panels. So I was thinking of using another fabric that I have. Unfortunately, it just doesn't quite go. So I have this. What I am doing with this is I'm quilting it and I'm making a vest, something long. Actually, I'm using the very same pattern that I used for the dress that I'm still working on. I will give you an update, but I am going to turn this into something quilted. I have batting that I've already I guess you could say I pre-washed it because you're supposed to soak it in water and then let it air dry. So I did that. It's ready to be used. I need to cut the pattern out of this fabric. But anyway, let's focus on these pants for now. I don't think that these two are going to go well together. They probably could, but it's just not the vibe I'm really going for. So I thought, well, what if I dyed it? And I just went with the quickest solution I had available. I took some turmeric powder and a few sprinkles of black tea because I'd finished the container. And I was like, ooh, hey, there's some black tea in here, at least the powder of it. So I added that to the bowl and this is still drying. I don't even know what type of mordant I need in order to set this. I've tested this before on linen a few years back and it does fade, obviously, if you don't set it, but I don't remember what I need to set it. I think I probably tried setting it with vinegar last time. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think? Let me hear your thoughts on this. I mean, it's a different vibe. Giving kind of Charlie Brown. I don't know. I started rolling this up and then I realized, you know what? If I don't see it, I'm going to forget this exists. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to photograph it on my phone and then I'm going to print it out on my little 2x3-inch photo printer and add the photo to my sewing project journal. And this way, when I flip through my journal, I'll be able to see it and realize, oh, hey, I do need pants. Let's make some pants. But I think the fact that I need pants and I think about that on a daily basis should bring me back to this point, and I'm so much closer to being able to sew up pants now that I have this drafted. And I took the other pants apart. That took some time. Anyway, we are here now. We are closer and trying to be more organized. I figured this would be a good place to start or continue since I'm in the middle of folding up all of the pant fabric and pieces. I don't know. I like this. I don't know what to do with this. I am actually going to take this apart and see what type of elastic they have on the inside. What do you think of this style of video? I find sewing to be very boring, but the planning, the ideation stage, the problem solving bits, that I enjoy. That's the creative part. Finding creative solutions to the little challenges along the way. Anyway, the reason I'm thinking about pants and I have bags here, you don't know I have bags here. So this is a bag I started sewing, I want to say either earlier this year. I think it was. I think I sewed this before the Mexico trip because I thought I wanted to bring a cute bag with me. I ended up bringing a different bag that I made and it is way too big. So I need to shrink it. Well, not shrink it as in putting it in the washing machine and shrinking it, but I need to resize it and make it much smaller because it's too big for my small frame. I'm only, well, 5'4.5" maybe, but I have long legs, so I generally look tall, but carrying a big bag, it feels like I could fit in the bag and that is unnecessary. So I'm going to make it smaller so it's more proportional. Anyway, not my favorite fabric, but it's something I have. And I do like the fabric. I think it's this way for me with a lot of fabrics. I kind of like them, but until I actually turn them into something, I'm not crazy about them. The original plan was to add some threading details somewhere on here with maybe some yarn, also add some beadwork and maybe some pom-poms, and I had a lot of thoughts with this. Also for the strap, I took this strap off of a Coach handbag that I still have, and I thought it would be a nice touch to add this to it, just to change up the vibe a little bit. So anyway, that's where we're going. Also, I'm still working on this. Where I left off was pinning up the sides to make it smaller and decide, do we like it big? Do we like it small? I definitely prefer it smaller. I brought this out last night because I was working on another tote. My mom gave me this tote. I think she gave it to me. Either she gave it to me or I took it. One or the other. They're kind of the same. So this tote bag, I believe she got it from IKEA and it was a super cute tote. For some reason, I got a lot of compliments on it. I don't know. I think it was more the visual, the imagery. Now, I don't know what this says about me. I had a whole conversation with a stranger regarding this. They were just like, I like your bag. I was just looking at the details and just thinking about what this might mean to your personality. And I'm like, I hadn't thought about that. But let's see if we can get this to focus better. It's a very interesting visual. It's really cool. So the bag was sort of falling apart. I cut off the straps and the top part because that's where it was mainly fraying. I was going to make it into a much smaller, cute tote, but then I decided, oh, why don't I take the same shape as this and do it with this bag? So we have pleats here, and since this bag actually has a lining that comes with it, I don't have the lining here. It's somewhere on a chair somewhere. I have a lot of chairs for some reason. But I'm not going to line this for now, maybe at some point, but my plan was to use it today, but I don't know if that's going to happen because I can't figure out what to do regarding the straps. I do like the shape of it. I'm sorry, I'm sitting at a weird angle. Is this chaotic for you? It feels chaotic for me. I'm going to try to reset up and then back to this combo. We have these pleats, which gives it a kind of rounded, scoopy feel. But here's what I was thinking for the straps. I was thinking because, well, I tested this fabric and it just clashes a bit. The tones are off. It just felt a little disjointed. So actually, can I wait? I need these. This is the waist for my wide leg pants that are going to become joggers. But my joggers, this fabric, it actually goes nicely with the bag. It doesn't clash with it. So what I was thinking was making a tube and then adding stuffing to it. And so the straps would be like a little puffy, almost like a cloud. I think it's kind of fitting because we have these clouds down here and then you have these cloud-like straps. But overall, that would be nice. I have enough of this fabric to make the straps and to make a little inner piece here that I can help fold these over and hide the inner stitch work for the straps. So that's the plan with this bag, but I'm a little on hold because I still need these pieces. Do I? Let's think this through. I have two legs, front and back. So technically I just need one full leg to visually compare to. So I can use one of the legs. I should be fine. I really love this middle piece. It'd be perfect to use because I don't have a lot of cutting I need to do. But I feel like I still need this piece, but maybe I don't. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to work on this today. Right now, I just want to focus on tidying up and not getting involved into any new projects. Is recording a project? That's technically a project, but we're getting somewhere. So onto the dress. Actually, hold on. Could we maybe do this for now? I think we could try that. I'm gonna try that. I'm definitely gonna try that because if I do that, it means I can wear it almost immediately. What I'm nervous about though is, I guess if I serge off the edge, then any changes I make over time, it's not going to affect this because I need something strong to attach this to, so I need to add some extra reinforcement, and I wouldn't mind using this fabric. It's a nice shade that complements everything. This, I'm just wondering if it just feels a little too harsh having. Actually, no. I think I want to try this. I'm going to give it a shot. I wish I had grommets. Are they called grommets? Those little circular pieces that have a hole in the middle and you just clamp down. I think they're grommets. Anyway, I wish I had big grommets that I could just attach to this and then I could just do this. I'm thinking, do I want to buy grommets? Because that does sound very simple and very handy. Oh man, I should get grommets. Or I can think of another creative solution that does not require me to spend money or leave the house. Anyway, this is the design process. I enjoy this part, finding creative solutions. But grommets, oh my God, that does sound great. I should get grommets. At some point, I'm gonna get grommets. Man, that would really come in handy. Moving on to the dress. So I have been wearing this dress. It's a little wrinkly. I don't know if I showed you what I did on the inside. I wanted to explain, but I don't have words at the moment. It just sounds really boring. There's no clear way to say it, but it looks clean and neat. And I think neat inside is impressive. I don't usually do neat insides because I'm always sort of doing things in a rush or it's a bit of a hack job. But this is the inside and it doesn't look bad, especially it being wrinkled. When it's not wrinkled, it looks very clean, very demure, very mindful. This was actually all of that unintentionally. So some key things that I did here, I added elastic. It's actually an elastic string. I think next time I'm gonna try a long or a thin strip of elastic, but I added elastic around the front collar because it's a V-neck. It's kind of a deep V, and I don't want to have gaping when I'm bending over. And I thought, well, if I put elastic here, maybe that will help, and it helps. Then I went back and I added some stabilization on the inside, which I'm glad I don't have the bottom sewed up yet. because it made it easier for me to go in and here it is. I added, it's very thin, fusible interfacing, and this will create a lot of extra reinforcement. Also, it created beautiful, clean structure to the front. So when I'm wearing it and I don't have it pinned and it's just hanging open, it looks so clean and so nice. I'm very pleased. I'm glad I did that. I didn't want to because it just takes time and then I have to cut things and iron them. It's boring and it's tedious, but the effect was definitely worth it. I didn't complete it going all the way to the bottom. It ends some inches away. I don't know if that's going to be a problem. Part of this is going to get shortened. I'm still working on a style, how I want to wear it. I had pinned it, I did some cinching, and I just felt like it looked better with me holding everything in the mirror than actually pinning it and then trying to wear it. So I was like, let's try something else. So I am trying something else. I haven't officially gotten to that point of actually trying it because I'll need to sew in some extra interfacing in some key areas. But fortunately, seeing how this interfacing performs, it's very unassuming, but it adds some extra stabilization. And with me stitching through the fabric, it's going to make a big impact. Actually, I don't know. I won't know until I'm wearing it. I'll show you what happens when you don't use some stabilization. So this was the first dress I made using that pattern, the same pattern I used for this. And it was long. I kept it as a sort of open tunic situation for a while. And then I wore it in several different ways. And then the last time I wore it in public, I literally stitched myself into this dress and it looks terrible. And someone had even asked me, oh, did you make that? And I don't know if that was meant to be a compliment or not, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But this is what happens when you don't stabilize things. I had done this fold over situation, which in person, it looks super cute. It's adorable. But this was kind of a quick on the go. Oh, I'm getting dressed. I want to remake what I have. Let's try to do it in 30 minutes. And I just didn't put enough thought into it. And I thought about it, but I was like, maybe I can get away with. No, you can't get away. Eventually, this is what's going to happen. So this is the bottom part of the dress. And as I'm wearing it and I'm sitting down, I'm just forcing the stitches apart and it's just pulling the weight. It's pulling on the fabric and the weave. So I still wear this around the house because I love it and it's cute, it's comfortable. But I have been thinking about cutting it somewhere around the waist and just turning it into a top and re-dyeing it. And also, this was originally white, and when I sewed it, I used white polyester thread, which of course matched the white, but when you dye it, this is linen, which is a natural fiber. So when dyeing it, the linen will dye, but not the white thread. And it just sort of, I don't know, it doesn't look very clean. That's not the greatest. So I've been considering adding some sort of detail on the edges. I don't know if I want to use yarn or some type of embroidery or something else entirely. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Oh, I wonder. Let's see. The other thing I'm thinking at the moment is like, hey, can we turn this into straps? But I don't really like the faded look and feel of this. I really want to re-dye this and see how it takes to more dyeing and if it just sort of revives it a bit. And then we'll see what we might want to do from there. Where was I on this? Oh yes, we're adding some stabilization to certain areas that we want to. I'm still figuring out closures. I want to do buttons because it's just quick and convenient, but I'm kind of tired of the look of buttons. And I guess I keep forgetting to look for other things. I literally went to the fabric store. There's a local fabric shop, a sewing studio, I think it's called. And I went there and I got distracted by fabric. I might insert some clips of fabrics that distracted me, but I mainly went there to look at buttons. They have a beautiful selection of all types of buttons and closures and even grommets. That's what I was talking about earlier. Grommets, the thing with the hole in it, that that doesn't look good. But anyway, I did not look at the buttons. So what I was thinking, I have some wire that I bought. I wanted to make jewelry out of. I don't even remember the gauge, but it's pretty small. What I do remember, it is gold-filled wire, which means it's not going to tarnish when you put it in the wash, which is important. So I thought, what if I find some creative way of creating my own type of closure? So I would need to find this wire. I know it's not far. I think it might be under a pile that's on a table, probably the table next to me. I am tidying up today, so if I find it, it would be a really good time to work on that this week, or we'll figure something else out. But that is the update on this. The last thing I'm going to mention, I actually have a few other projects that I'm also in the midst of, but the only other thing I'm going to mention right now, because I think I'm going to wear this today. I have worn this out, but I didn't get out of the car. I just went out to go pick up some groceries, and it was curbside pickup, so it was convenient. But I still need to hem this. I'm going to hem it today because I think I'm wearing it today. And interestingly, when I wore it, I didn't even close the skirt piece. I actually had it hanging, and it was sort of hanging open a little bit, and I was wearing it with, let's see, I'm wearing it right now with this top. I'm in the process of turning this top into a few other things, and I'm undecided about what I want to do exactly. But the way I had envisioned refashioning it for this really excites me. So at some point, you'll probably see that. That's going to be very interesting because that is a style I have never attempted, but I like it. And I even like this sort of hanging. It just creates a little extra dimension and flow. Maybe it's weird, maybe it's not, but it definitely makes this less boring until I add all the other extra bits that I don't even know when I'll get around to doing. But for today, we are going to hem this, and hopefully I'll wear it tonight.